How old are they now?
They are 2.5. Yeah.
Man.
They're growing like trees. They're huge.
Yeah, my kids are pretty, they're grown, but my daughter, she just came back from Cali, second year.
Already in college?
Yeah. Yeah, she's in college. I don't know. Catch me up on like how's it been since still you're still acting and you're working on your music. I see plenty of stuff behind you right there.
You gave me my first cover, my friend.
Yes, that was amazing. I still love that shot. It's so cool, so cool.
Me too.
But yeah, tell me what don't I know?
I feel like I'm an open book and I share everything, but I don't know. From having kids and releasing my debut album last year, I had so much fun creating all the visuals and everything from beginning to end. The lyrics, content. It was kind of like taking matters into my own hands in a way, because
Right.
In this industry, we're just always looking for someone to tell us yes, or someone to give us what we've been working all this time for, that opportunity. And I kind of just took the initiative and did it myself, between becoming the star of my own show and taking my place on that stage.
Yeah, I think what people won't really understand is that Thomas, when I met you, you were modeling
1 year
and
coming up,
and I think you're still like kind of with dipping your toes in like in acting as well. I don't think you even started your journey with music yet, but you had a maybe I think 3 or 4 songs that you executed.
Yeah, Vision was one that we worked on. And
every time I say execute, it just triggers my mind to say execute the vision.
I hear it too all the time. It's so triggering. There's so many things within my music that triggers me, obviously. Deeply rooted places. But
I know you always put your mind to something and then you make it manifest, right?
Into something real.
Yeah.
Executing that vision, baby.
The record that you have behind Late to Bloom, right?
Yeah. That one was 10 songs, and the next album is going to be 11.
So tell us about the album that you're coming out with then.
Yeah, so Late to Bloom, my debut album, was very pop dance themed, like sonically. And we're going to kind of stay with that vibe, that electronic dance vibe, but we're going a little more punk rock with this sound. Taking a lot of inspirations from my childhood favorite band, Simple Plan, and of course Demi Lovato. Some of her more recent albums have been more punky and rock and roll. So I'm trying to challenge myself and dipping my toes into a different sound. I have 4 songs written for it so far, with two more instrumentals on the way. And, the theme is kind of the same as far as writing about personal life experiences and learned life lessons. I touched on it a little bit in my show. We had a recording studio day, and we have a song called 732 and a song called Shut Up and Listen. And 732 is like a breakup song where like the past is kind of haunting you. And Shut Up and Listen is just like what I was talking about earlier, about having to rely on so many other people to give you that yes. So I'm just like, or
right.
Hearing all that critique. You should do this, maybe try it a different way, change it up. And some of those things are good to hear, and some of those things you don't really want to hear. So with Shut Up and Listen, it's just like, I have my story to tell and I'm going to tell it my way. So just shut up and listen to what I have to say.
That's when you're overwhelmed with too many outside opinion, right?
Wait, yeah.
Yeah, no. I mean, you have to know when to make the line that they you have to be able to tell your story the way you want to say it, because sometimes if it gets too diluted by everybody else's ideas, then there's a disconnect,
Right.
So no, I think that's admirable that you have a song like that.
Yeah, even like being just like a perfectionist and like my attention to detail is just so obsessive sometimes. I get in my own way, I think, a lot of the times, because I want to put out as much content as I possibly can, but it has to be good. I'm not going to just like turn on the camera and dance around. Maybe I will. You got to do what you got to do to keep up with the kids on TikTok these days.
That's right. Yeah. No, but I admire that you've wrapped up the one album, and now you have your next project. So since they're still similar in lines, what would, if you could tell me the differences between your first album and your second album, what has changed, even though they have similar narratives, but what would you say is a real big change between the first one and the second one?
I found my voice a little bit more, and I'm kind of just testing myself and how I use it. So there's still a long way to go. We're barely halfway through. Yeah, I have a pretty good idea of where it's going. This one's going to be kind of like taking my power back. What I feel, because like this industry has really, chipped away at me. I'm 35 now. I've been doing this for 10 years, trying to just throw things at the wall and see what sticks. And, at the end of the day, I'm having a great time doing it. So even if nothing, my expectations are ginormous and my dreams are huge. So, at the end of the day, I'm creating all of this for my kids, for when I'm no longer here. And I think if that's all that it is, I say that like it's nothing. But I'm not.
No, I think it's important.
Statement.
I get that. I get that. There's I wish I had a lot more memorabilia of like my father and things that he had aspired to do or worked on. So because us as kids, when we look at our parents, we're not really looking to see if they were famous. We're just looking to see what their interests were and what they loved to do. So outside of fame, fortune, and just notoriety, leaving something that leaves a trail of who you were and what you represented is truly a gift to leave to your children.
I think so too. Yeah, I've kind of come to peace with that. Ultimately, is what this is, and anything extra is just bonus.
It's bonus.
Yeah,
right.
It's really just, it's not about the fame and notoriety. It's really just reaching as many people as possible, spreading my message, love and light, and inspiring as many people as possible. And, people keep telling me, if just one person listens to your music and feels changed by it, then your job is done. So I'm trying to not be greedy with the amount of people that I want to reach. That's always the dream.
Some of the reasons that your approach to your albums in the last album versus the new album. So there's a lot of growth there, and I think that's great. The mission that you've had behind the message you had behind both of those albums. So my question is to you is, well, how do you feel about the music industry right now with new AI generations and those sort of tools being in the stratosphere? So What are your feelings about that?
I don't know. AI is really, really cool, but it's also really bad at the same time in a way. Um, in my opinion, at least. Like everything that went on with the SAG-AFTRA strike and everyone's job was being threatened by using AI and being able to produce. I think it takes a lot of, what am I trying to say? It takes a lot of the creativity, I think, out of it. I know my husband uses AI a lot when he's just trying to it's like almost like an Alexa.
Right.
To try to learn more quickly about things. But I think kids in school are going to be using it, and it's essentially going to be cheating when you're writing a paper. Artists might use it to write their songs, and
right.
I don't know. I think it takes a lot of the creativity out of it. So
have you used any of the tools yourself?
But we were talking about, there's that line that I think you have to draw as to how you use it and to what degree.
Of course. Have you put your hands on any of those tools and just to see what it's all about?
Yeah. Brian, or my husband, and I, we play with the AI, what was it? ChatGPT a lot. I know there's 100 more. But no, I haven't used it for my music or anything like that. It's just it's interesting when you're when you have an idea or a concept, and it's almost like using it as a thesaurus,
right?
To find other words associated with that idea. I might use it in that sense, but
sure.
Not for writing a verse or writing a paragraph, things like that. I know my husband will generate emails very quickly that way, and that might help. With
I think it's inevitable. It's going to be associated and kind of work in tandem with the creativity that most artists are. I think where it becomes gray is when it's from the ground up and there's no thought behind it. It's just randomly produced. It sounds good. Yeah. Let's just stick it together, and if it works, it works.
Yeah, and I think AI has a voice, a detectable voice. I think if you were to use AI from the ground up, like you were saying, I think a lot of people would be able to tell.
It's a noticeable tone or something, that inflections inside the sound and the voice of the AI, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So I think, like you said, we should use it as almost a reference, or a way to get out of writer's block, or to expand on an idea. But that's it.
I think it's going to motivate people to really come up with homegrown material in that kind of human generated content, instead of the adversary of AI generated.
So there will be those flat messages popping up throughout the industry.
I mean, that's already existed even without AI, from just people using technology and in many ways, just altering their voices. What's the term used? Auto-tune. So maybe somebody that wasn't that skilled, but it has access to these tools. It allows them to express themselves in a way that they probably would have never done before, because they already know that they don't have a great voice, and they don't know all the instruments and can't play these things, but they kind of have their own thought behind it. It becomes a legality once you start, basically doing fraudulent versions of somebody's identity and their sound, how their inflections are, how they represent themselves, and how they move and act. And I think a lot of that was in play um, when those when those talks were around AI and how it's being used. Like, you don't know where the source material is, and they're working really hard to kind of put legalities to find, like, okay, where are you sourcing the AI? Where is the AI sourcing this information from to generate this
Right.
music or generate that?
I was thinking about that because if kids are using AI, like I have kids now and you have kids, so I'm like sitting here thinking like, to what extent are these students using AI to get through school? And by asking certain AI's questions, where are they coming up with their answers? Is it just a mass, real quick,
Like,
what's out there on the
like a
internet?
quick search, like asking Alexa the answer to everything,
Yeah, is it a reliable source? Because, when you're writing term papers, you have to cite where you got these sources from
Right.
when you're quoting things. So I think it really blurs that line.
I definitely see, like, the music industry in itself has been hurting very bad. Obviously, they've done tons of layoffs. They don't do artist development anymore. They basically rely on indie artists to pool up on a platform and build their own following, and then only then is when they start. Yep. So
That's clearly it's so hard to find management for a record label even. So I'm indie artist here, fully funding my own journey, hoping that something sticks, like I was talking about earlier.
yep.
It can get frustrating at times, for sure, not having some sort of guidance by people who know the industry and know how to build an artist up. I mean, I know they like to start when the artist is rather young so that
They can mold them. Yeah. They can mold them, and they can get them into contracts that they probably don't understand.
Yeah.
It used to be a particular format that in process that an artist would go through prior to them even launching. But nowadays, you could just record something in your room and then just be live in the next hour.
$10 to upload a song to all the streaming platforms for a year. So anyone can do it. And I think I read somewhere that 100,000 new songs are being uploaded each day.
Wow.
So like the market is so saturated. It's very, very tough. That's why I like hound all my friends and my family when I'm coming out with a new song to pre-order it for 99 cents.
Right.
It's not for the money, but it helps expose your song to more people.
The rankings and the algorithm and all that. Yeah.
Algorithm. Freaking
algorithm.
It's like my life's work. I'm trying to break figure it out.
Yeah, I think I think it really boils down to the indie artist really like focusing on their super fans, the people that are really they're really supporting them. That regardless of you being signed to a label, they're going to buy into your next project or your next song or buy the merch and all that stuff. And I think, and especially with I don't think there's any benefit for getting signed anymore because you'll probably never see any of that money anyway. And if you do, it'll be in very small amounts and far few in between. Because there's really no transparency in that except for this has to get paid for, that gets paid for. Everything's in advance. Nothing's like you're not making it. So you're better off almost as an indie artist just focusing straight to the consumer and just building your brand that way.
That's a good point. I always thought I needed management or a record label to help like expose me. How are all these like Sabrina Carpenter's getting massive exposure?
Right.
Being viral on a TikTok? Are they performing on small stages for 10 years before getting picked up or seen. There's no right way to do it.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's the tricky part, I think.
Yeah, I think it only takes the funny part about it. It only takes like one, right? It takes one thing, either one viral video of a song or one hit, and then that can propel and change everything.
Right.
But until you get that, it's it's business as usual. You're crafting more work. You kind of have to stick to your guns and your pride in the vision that you have, because that's basically what at least you have that, at least you have the vision. You're representing yourself the way you want to be represented, instead of letting them mold you into something that maybe possibly you don't want to be.
True. But record labels generally have money, so that means better music videos, cooler costumes.
Right.
So it's definitely a trade-off, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure.
I'm willing to sell my soul.
I mean, if it gets there, then it gets there, right? So now you have your own TV show where you're sharing your experiences. So what is that like, sharing your life, your family, like exposing that? What was that like for you right now?
I feel like that's kind of what we're all doing. To a degree on social media. We're posting everything about our lives. We're constantly updating our stories, making fun videos for people to get to know us better. So I always have this joke where I think that in the future, we're all going to be followed around by like drones, and people can tune in to our like first person POV at any day or any time of the day.
Is the show already, is it premiered already and this is launched? You're going into episodes?
Yeah. We started filming last year at my album release party.
Okay.
And then we kept filming. And next week, I think the show premiered on May 22nd. We're now in July almost.
Okay.
And July 3rd will be my finale episode of season 1. Because we just got back from London where we saw Taylor Swift, and we turned that into a big finale episode.
Oh, yeah, I saw you post something about the Taylor Swift concert, right?
In row. And
front row.
We made eye contact. I was decked out in my Reputation era look with a giant 9-foot green snake wrapped around me.
Wow.
Whenever I do these things, I always just like to become a character. I think that's why I like acting so much and like telling stories through music or whichever medium. I like telling stories and becoming different characters. Whether it be
I know every time we did a photo shoot, you transformed into something else. Every time was something different, and it was great.
You're talking about how I'm in my snake Reputation era with a 9-foot snake wrapped around me. Does that give you deja vu?
Oh shoot! I
snake
still remember the day that was wrapped around me. That was a heavy snake.
Knees python.
That's nuts. I think I still have the photo somewhere. I have to find it, but I still remember.
There's like a video vlog diary on my YouTube channel somewhere called Serpent Struggles. What's that?
All right. No, I definitely have to check that out. So when do you usually drop the episodes?
They are currently every Wednesday at 6 p.m. So,
and where can people find the show?
It's on YouTube, so it's totally free, and it's just search "I Am Thomas Cole Show." No, "I Am Thomas Cole," the reality show.
All right, and when is wow? There you go. That's the shirt. Yeah. And
these cards made, QR code on the back. So I hand these out.
perfect.
Here I go. I even had a hat.
Awesome. Oh, you got plenty of merch there. There you
I wear
go.
many hats. This is my first song. I'm a twin dad. Yeah, I'm a man of many hats. What do they say?
Yeah, many hats. Yes.
We just
You,
announced on the show that we're having another baby.
wow.
So
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Oh, you just love to be busy, don't you? Wow.
It'll be the baby's first onesie. Yeah, we're kind of masochistic over here. We like to stay busy and we like to put ourselves in intense situations.
So, the show is basically about, me reaching out to a lot of the network of people that I've worked with plenty of times. And we have a long history because we've done so many different photo shoots and creative things together. And I think I wanted to kind of bring that to light and also let people know, maybe if they're creatives themselves, they're trying to get in the industry, they're trying to figure out, where they belong. And I think what would you say to a new creative that is, let's say, an actor or in trying to decide, because a lot of that happens too. You're kind of multifaceted and you're trying to figure out, should I really focus on this more than this? So I know I want to do music, but I also want to act and I want to be in these films. So what would you say to an artist, aspiring artist out there?
Well, first of all, I love what you're doing with your show. It's kind of reminding me of what I'm doing with mine. It's about, showcasing collaborations with other creative people. And the advice that I think I would give is it's all trial and error. You see what works, you see what people like. Find what you're passionate about. Once you find what you're passionate about, you're going to want to do it every day. And then your skills for that passion is going to improve. And you'll get to know it better and you'll get to know yourself better. So ultimately, I don't know if I'm the right person to ask because I haven't technically made it, but persistence and perseverance and doing it because you love it, I feel like that's what's keeping me going. So I think thing I think about making music is you spend all this time creating it and dreaming about it and putting all these pieces of the puzzle together. And, you invest all this time in learning dance moves and spending time with dancers and choreographers if it's a dance song, right? And then you've got a whole production team behind making a video for it, because ultimately when you release a song, you want to attach a visual to it. And then you just click submit. It comes out one Friday morning or whatever day you choose.
Right.
And it's out of your hands. There's nothing really else you can do. It's so short-lived. I guess the high of releasing your art in this form is so short-lived. I mean, technically it lives forever, but once released, it's okay, well, now what?
Right. So, the next project, it's the new iteration. What the next thing that's going to, your next creation, right? Bringing something into the world that wasn't there before, right? And it's something that you put your heart and soul into, and to let it be seen. A lot of times there are a lot of artists that they don't want to let go. because they're they're in their mind, they're just being too much of a perfectionist, and they're afraid to see the response. And I think the fear, like working against the fear of the response, is the biggest hurdle. And once you get there, then, like you said, you start refining. You start, yeah, okay, maybe it wasn't perfect, this one. The next one comes out, it's a little better than the last one. And you just keep evolving and keep creating and keep pushing until, you become, it becomes something that you can't stop doing, because you just need to keep creating because it makes you happy. Yeah, you start giving off the energy, and that the energy is very infectious to other people. And when they hear authenticity in what you're delivering, that says a lot, and it's inspirational, and that's what keeps keeps inspiring other artists to keep doing what they're doing as well.
Yeah.
At least that's what I believe. So, but I think we're all like, we're all learning. We're all students. We're still students of life. We're still students of the arts.
With opportunities to learn. Like you should never feel like you know it all.
You mastered everything. Yeah.
Right.
No.
I started taking voice lessons even after my debut performance because I saw so many places where I could improve. So we are training for the next show. I don't know when it's going to be yet.
So what's the next show, you said, right? When is the next show going to be?
Oh, no, I was asked to perform at for an event in October, but I hope there's one that presents
sooner
for that. Yeah.
Got it.
I don't have anything on the books right now. We were really focused on finishing filming the reality show, at least the first season. I think we'll see, but I think I'm going to continue editing these episodes myself and see if I'm able to come up with a product that is similar to what, this whole first season has been, having an editor. I mean, I could spend money all day, every day if I wanted to, but if it's not generating anything yet, you got to figure out how to do it yourself in order to keep producing,
Right.
Right now, the goal is YouTube partner and finding like sponsors for like shout outs or to have product placement.
Yeah.
Things like that. I don't know how it all works, but I'm sure I'll learn.
Thomas, thank you for catching up with me and telling me everything that you've been working on and stuff that you're about to, you're about to do, and your new album. When are we going to be expecting the new album to come out?
No, it's a really good question. We're already halfway through the year, and I've been writing these songs probably past, I don't know. I'm imagining the album will come in like early 2025, but I will definitely be releasing. That's what I'm trying to figure out right now. Am I going to hold on to everything until the album's done and ready to release? Or am I going to release it as singles like I did with the last album where every song kind of lived its own life? Or am I going to split it up and release it as 3 or 4 small EPs where it's like you get 2 or 3 songs at a time with a video?
Right. So you're still debating that, right?
Yeah.
You're still debating whether or not you're going to do that.
Yeah, there's 3 songs that I am dying to share with the world, and I've been holding on to them for, like, I've had them in my pocket for like 6 months or more. So it's almost torture when you have the final product and you're like, well, I can't share it yet. And that's part of what I was saying earlier. It's like you've invested so much emotion into these projects, and then when you give it away, it's almost really sad.
Unless people start picking up on it and following it like crazy, then it just keeps going, right? So
And it's a longer life.
yeah. So
This industry is a weird one, but I can't help but love it.
yeah, I mean, like, I think everything happens in at the right time. So I feel as you've been exploring the space, as you've been evolving, you're just going to grow even stronger, and it's going to show in the music.
Yeah,
And yeah,
it's already
so
showing. Just haven't been able to share it with you guys yet. So
yeah, I know.
it's
So I'm
coming.
excited. Yeah, I'm excited to when you are ready to release those babies. And
So many
congratulations.
babies.
I know. And now you have another one on the way. So, you know, big Papa vibes. But yeah, so let everybody know where they can find you, where they can listen to your music, and to reach out to you. Yep.
Yeah. So my Instagram is I am Thomas Cole. You can find me on YouTube at I am Thomas Cole or I am Thomas Cole, the reality show. Just search Thomas Cole on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, wherever you listen to music. And my album Late to Bloom should pop up, as well as my most recent single, Broken Shells, a song that I wrote for my late grandfather. There's lots going on, or just go to iamthomascole.com and it's all there. Photos, videos, music, the
And
reality.
they can follow you on your voyage,
Yes.
right?
We've got a lot going on over here. I know Taylor Swift has already taken that. A lot going on right now. But
You should have just jumped on that stage.
man, well, stay tuned. Thank you so much for having me. It's been so great catching up with you. It's been too long. We need to go out for a beer.
Yeah, no, definitely. Definitely have to catch up. I get to, see what's happening with the Well, I get to see what's happening with the family, but yeah, it would be good to connect again.
It would.
Awesome. Thanks, Thomas, for taking the time.
It's
Huh?
incredible.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, no, I'm like you. I'm still getting a handle and trying to share as much as I can. That's it.
Exactly. That's the name of the game.
All right, Tom. I'm gonna let you go, but thank you so much. And guys, definitely check out Late to Bloom and any of his projects. Watch his show and look. Hey, creativity, never stops, and neither should you. So keep moving. Don't give up, and definitely share love.
Amen to that.
All right. Thanks for watching Mindless Sketch.